My name is Joel Bunifay. I'm a Master's of Education candidate specializing in social and emotional learning at National University. In this presentation, I'll be explaining what SEL is and the importance of addressing it in the schools. To begin, what is social and emotional learning? Social and emotional learning, or SEL, is a process through which children and adults understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. As Dr. Starr shared in her introductory lecture on this topic, our goal, in addition to academic achievement, is to graduate students to have a higher level of ability to advocate for themselves and collaborate with others. Social and emotional learning, then, is what we are teaching our students that moves beyond academics. In 2018, the California Department of Education published guiding principles on social and emotional learning. The CDE prioritized adopting the development of the whole child as the goal of education. Research has demonstrated the importance of addressing social emotional learning in schools for academics, social emotional, and behavioral outcomes. In Durlach's important meta-analysis, we read that current findings document that SEL programs yielded significant positive effects on targeted social emotional competency and attitude about self, others, and school. They also enhance students' behavior adjustments in forms of increased pro-social behavior and reduced conduct, internalizing problems, and improved academic performance on achievement tests and grades. Social emotional learning can have a powerful impact on our students. How does social emotional learning affect academic outcomes? Our textbook states that having friendships is related to school grades and achievement test scores in both elementary and middle school children. With the emphasis on test scores and our own desire as teachers to ensure that students learn, it is important to help students develop their friendships and other social emotional skills. Research has established that SEL has positive academic outcomes. It also, unsurprisingly, has positive social emotional outcomes. Students who learn social emotional skills are better able to complete social tasks, such as having a conversation, expressing feelings, and making a compromise during a conflict. As Dr. Starr expressed in her lecture, social emotional learning is important, essential, and not going anywhere. It works best when it is embedded in the curriculum, the playground, and the front office. When an entire school focuses on social emotional learning, students have better social emotional skills. CASTLE, the Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, focuses on the behavioral outcome that comes from social emotional learning. When a student masters self-management, they are able to make a compromise in a conflict better than a student who has not mastered that competency. When a student has increased social awareness, they are better able to understand others' feelings. Students with high relationship skills can make eye contact when talking. Students who have mastered responsible decision making, taking responsibility for their own actions. Finally, students with self-awareness have a positive mindset. These 5 competencies all lead to better behavior and classroom management. When doing my own research for this presentation, I thought about the school district I substituted at this past school year. Looking on their website, I was surprised to discover that restorative justice circles, or RJ circles, were a SEL practice. I'll end this presentation by sharing my experience with RJ circles. We used RJ circles in my 7th grade math class, which was a special day class, or SDC class, to reestablish rules and regulations and just refocus kids to what they needed to be learning and where their learning was headed, and just basically how their day was going and what they were going to do. We just did it as a social, gathering, kind of to keep the kids as connected to each other as possible. During our RJ circles, there was most kids kind of, hey, I'm going to have a party this weekend, friends are going to come over. But occasionally a child would say that, like in one instance, there was a staff member that was kind of being a little too friendly to them, and they felt uncomfortable, and it was really good that it came out that I got to help this, and it really strengthened our relationship too, because she then believed that I was, trustworthy to give this information, and that I was going to report it to the proper people. And I find that RJ circles work very well with especially in the SCC level classes. I don't know, I don't have a lot of experience using it in mainline classes, but for the SCC class that I did work for, it always worked to refocus our kids and get them back on the path that we wanted them on. This is the part where I would normally take questions, but seeing that there is no audience, I took it upon myself to look up some frequently asked questions on knowledgeworks.org. The first question: are there any other terms for SEL? And while most people today are familiar, most people in education are familiar with SEL, there are several other names that it might go by. Some of these are 21st century skills, soft skills, employability skills, or non-cognitive skills. My second question, also from KnowledgeWorks: what are examples of commonly integrated SEL skills? SEL might look like collaboration, creative approaches to problem solving, critical thinking, growth mindset, communicating clearly, impulse control, and others. The third question from KnowledgeWorks: how should districts determine which SEL skills to emphasize to ensure student success? Identifying the SEL skills you want to see most cultivated in learners can be done through conducting community and parent surveys, creating regular opportunities for feedback, and meeting stakeholders where they are, from attending community festivals to conferences in the classroom. Question 4 from KnowledgeWorks: do educators need specific training to integrate SEL into their classroom? And they go on to write a long-winded answer that kind of basically says they don't necessarily need specific instruction as much as they need continuous professional development and support to make an SEL program work with their already existing curriculum. The fifth question from KnowledgeWorks is: how do we measure growth and mastery of SEL? This is an easy answer because of the establishment of practical social emotional competency assessments of preschool to high school students project.